What's going on, guys? This is MartyrsBrigade99 coming to you once again with another session of Dark Souls PvP. Alright guys, we're back at it again for another session of Rumble in the Jungle. Alright, now this particular Rumble in the Jungle is going to feature myself against good old Bubba. He's one of the Twitch bros. And actually he is playing one of his more famous builds. And the reason why that I say it's more famous because a lot of the Twitch bros, to the extent that Bubba has participated in some of the fight clubs or whatnot, or you know, just random fights, he usually uses this tank build and is pretty effective. As a matter of fact, it is so effective that good old Bubba himself has made certain streamers, just go full hollow mode with rage. Right? Full hollow mode. And, you know, that'll be an inside joke for the people who are either there at the time or to the person who actually had the rage and Bubba himself. But we all know about it. Right? So this is one of his... and actually, I don't really know if Bubba has any other builds. To be quite honest, I've seen him with this build a lot. I don't really recall him using any other builds, although I am sure he has more than one. But this is his high-speed, full tank strength build. Now, one good thing about Bubba, he's good at the parrying, he's good at his attacks. But, you know, there is some weaknesses that we will talk about, at least with regard to our series of matches. And actually, that was a good parry right there. Because although he is definitely effective, after a few matches, I was able to understand and actually I was able to recognize some of his weaknesses and to exploit them. Right? Alright, so let's just get into it. This is my witch, my, vampire, witch, make him bleed, whatever you want to call build. And this build is dedicated solely to bleeding out my opponents. Now you guys are going to get a couple videos featuring this particular witch, and I like it. I really like it. But I think there are some little things that I need to do to improve it, and I don't know if it's more so my particular gameplay or perhaps some of the equipment that I'm using. Right? And as a matter of fact, for a lot of you guys, especially for a lot of you guys that have been on the channel for a while, do me a favor. I need a little feedback, right? Because like I said before, there's going to be two videos that's going to feature my witch. It's going to be a battle of the builds between myself and Main G, and there's going to be another battle of the builds you guys are going to see against good old Infinite Flame. And actually, shout out to Infinite Flame. He actually didn't even expect for the series that we had to be a battle of the builds, but I think, he did so well on his series of matches, and actually it was pretty random, right? I don't know if, I ran into him and he said, hey dude, let's have some matches, or, he just randomly said, okay, let's see what the brigade is doing, and I just answered the call. But you guys are going to get that. Now, it will be relatively short, but I'm pretty sure you guys will enjoy that series of matches between myself and good old Infinite Flame. Alright, now, as I was having my series of matches with good old Bubba, I was saying to myself, okay, now, I don't know if I can, face a tank with only 54 poise. Now, to the extent that you guys are familiar with the channel, I had a series of matches with good old Hell Servant 23. Shout out to him. And in that particular video, I got pieced up badly by good old Hell Servant. And it was a similar situation to me and the witch. I tried to face a tank build with only 53 or 54 poise. And after that, second or third match against Bubba, I said to myself, you know what? I do not think I'm going to do that. So I went on ahead and I pulled out my high-speed black iron build. Now, to the extent that you guys are not familiar with the channel, this is my absolute favorite looking heavy set, right, with regard to armor. You guys will never see me in Havels. You'll never see me in Giants. You won't see me in Smo's armor. More than likely, unless, I'm kind of doing some type of cleric type deal, you will also never catch me in paladin armor. This, in my personal opinion, is the best looking heavy armor. Right, so whenever I want to rock the high poise, for which the Black Iron set, I think it offers 77 poise, 77 or 8, maybe 79, whatever it is. And so I use that set whenever I feel like going super heavy. Alright, so now we're going tank for tank. Now, I'm not saying tank for tank necessarily because I'm using a heavy shield with the strength weapons, because I'm obviously not. I'm saying tank because, you know, I have heavy armor with high poise. Now, granted, I will be using some dexterity weapons, but this is the great sword. And as a matter of fact, this is still my Leo ring build. So I figured I'll go ahead and combat him with the good old Leo ring. Now, granted, I don't think those are counter hits. I'm not really sure, even though that 904 does look pretty good. But I'm not really sure, because I've had some counter hits with other guys with the great sword, and I've been able to hit up into like the 1100s. Right, so either it was a counter hit and it is lower only because of the armor he's using, or it was not a counter hit. Right, and I mean, we still got good results with that 904 in damage. Alright, so we're good to go. So he's trying to pop me off with a couple arrows, and actually he chopped me up real nice with that Man Serpent Great Sword. And, you know, one thing you guys are going to pay attention to, and actually I'll kind of draw your attention when you see it. This is one of the reasons why it is very good to pay attention to detail. I know a lot of times when people are fighting, they're just kind of doing their own thing and just fighting. Me personally, I like to pay close attention to my opponent. So in other words, it's not that I'm just fighting. I'm also paying attention to patterns. Like, what do they do? What do they not do? What their strengths and weaknesses may be. Right? If they have something that they kind of often do. Case in point, I want you guys to pay close attention to whenever he starts using that Man Serpent Greatsword. Just pay close attention to his patterns. Now, he doesn't have it right now, but he's going to swap it out with the Man Serpent Greatsword. I want you guys to just pay close attention. You guys are going to start to see, hopefully you guys will start to see some of the same patterns that I recognize. Alright, so that was a good parry right there. But it doesn't matter, right? Because we got a good counter hit right there for 306. And actually, more than likely, it hit for more because that was an awesome counter attack. But hey, he only had 306 vitality left. Alright, so we went on ahead and got rid of that. Alright, so he's rocking the Man Serpent Great Sword. I'm going to go ahead and do our greetings. Go ahead and grass it up. And you guys are going to pay close attention. Let's see if he does it right now. Oh, that's not the Man Serpent Great Sword. He's using the dragon. Okay, so I got a good counter hit right there for 600 plus in damage. And another thing I've noticed about Bubba. See? You guys notice that? He kind of telegraphs himself. In other words, whenever he switches off to the Man Serpent Great Sword, just pay close attention next time he does it. He'll back off perhaps about 2 steps, and then he'll run straight at me for the swinging R1. Sometimes, well, actually the two-handed swinging R1. He does that every time. And from this point onward, you guys are going to notice I'm going to parry that attack a lot. Mainly because it's basically been established to be a pattern. Right, so just pay close attention to whenever you notice him pulling out the Man Serpent Great Sword. Alright, and I'm trying to think where there's some other patterns that I noticed. I'm pretty sure that it was, because I know at the time that we were fighting, I said, he keeps doing this same move. But, like I said, oh, that's another thing he does. You guys are going to notice. He kind of runs up to you and do that parry move. Just pay attention. Right, there'll be some instances where he's kind of, nice parry right there. There'll be some instances where he's kind of off at a distance. And then he'll just kind of adjust himself, and then just like right now, right? And that's when I pulled out the high-speed Avalon. But you guys are going to notice it now. And now what? Okay, I thought he had the Man Serpent Great Sword. So I want you guys to just pay attention to some of the patterns, like I said. And you know, one good thing about him even though he does kind of do that run up and parry method, he does catch me like a few times with that ridiculous move, which is good, right? Because like I said, okay, did he switch? No, he still has that dragon sword. Okay, so he tried to get me with an R2 blast, but I'm still good to go with the buckler. Still good defense. Pop him off with the Avalon, but we're good to go on the mid-rolling dodges. Alright, so we went in for a quick lock BS, and we're good to go. Now just watch him. Okay, he still has the dragon sword. I thought he had the man serpent great sword. I was about to say just pay close attention to, and actually that double KO, right? Pay close attention to that. Now, just in case you guys didn't know, for all you Leo Ring dudes, the Avalon, and actually it's not even the Avalon, it's the projectiles for the Avalon. They're actually thrust weapons. I didn't even really know that. That was pretty interesting. They're definitely thrust weapons. So, you know, for a lot of you guys who like to rock the Leo Ring, you know, just go ahead and, you know, pull out some of those Avalons or some of those other type weapons. You guys notice that? He moved back probably about 2 or 3 steps and he shot in for the running two-handed R1. So just pay close attention to those patterns. Alright, so I'm back, you guys. He's doing it again. And you guys notice I'm starting to throw out more parry attempts, right? Because he is definitely establishing a pattern. Okay, that was a great parry right there. Man, that man serpent greatsword definitely hurts. Now, that's one mistake on his end, right? Can't stand right next to me and swing. Now, you know, maybe if I'm medium rolling, you can do that. But if I'm fast rolling, I'm going in for the kill, dude, right? Because I have that quick mobility. Alright, so let's see. What is he going to do? Oh, he has the man. Okay, watch him do it. What I tell you. Doing. Nice. Very nice. Tighten him up with some good old mace action real quick. Alright, so, you know, since Bubba is one of the Twitch bros, I'd like to give a shout out to all the other Twitch bros out there, Lance for Life, everybody else out there. And look, like I said before, all you Twitch bros or some of you other dudes, hey, pull out your unique builds, right? Let's have a series. Let's do a Rumble in the Jungle. Let's do a Battle of the Builds. Let's do it. Even a Battle of the Uploaders. Or you can do Uploader versus Streamer. Right? Because I'll definitely take a lot of you guys on, because like I said before, I think it's good with regard to rapport within the community, and I think it's good because I know some of the hot shots out there like a challenge. Now, although I wouldn't say that I'm, you know, that much of a challenge, I think it's all in fun. And I missed that hit right there. He would have been hurting. Nice hit for 661. 661 with the crystal weapon. Alright, and we're back at it. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out my Black Knight Great Axe. Now, if you guys notice, right, in the brigade, like I've said plenty of times before, this is one of the reasons why I have never been to the point to where I get good at one weapon and just stuck with it. Right? Because if you guys notice, I'm pulling out a lot of weapons. Right? I'm pulling out a lot of weapons. You know, I'm not going to be in a situation where someone say, oh, you were only winning because you only use weapon A. Or you only use weapon B. You guys notice that? Too close. Definitely too close. You really have to be careful with regards to that. Now, I'm not saying you need to be careful all the time, right? Because, I mean, I kind of stand right behind my opponents either after a BS or a riposte in some cases. And, you know, in some of those cases, it doesn't happen to me. But it has happened to me a lot of times. And, you know, after it happened to me enough times, and that's when I say, you know what? Let me kind of just back off after a successful backstab or riposte. See, you guys notice that? He's trying to run in for that run. See? Did you guys just notice that? He kind of shot in for the run-up parry method. But when I backed off, he kind of backed off again. But when he did, he went on ahead, two-handed his Man-Serpent Greatsword, and he did the same things he always does. So like I said before, I'm going to parry him probably about 2 or 3 more times, right? Because at least on my end, it looks a little obvious. So we're going to be good to go with regard to that. So just pay close attention. He's going to back up. He's doing it again. You guys notice that? He's going to two-hand it, back up like 2 or 3 steps, and then he's going to run in for the two-handed running R1 attack. You guys notice that? He did it again. Doing. Got that parry off. So Bubba, dude, good to go. GG's on all the series. But just keep in mind, perhaps you're seeing some of the same things that I'm seeing. But when it comes to that, try to mix it up a little bit. One tactic that I use to try not to look so obvious is to hit the unlock button real quick. Right? And if you hit the... Man, I got hit with some big damage right there. If you hit the unlock button real quick, in some cases you won't look so obvious with regard to running. You guys notice that? I'm just backing off because I pretty much know what he's going to do. You guys notice that? Took like 2 or 3 steps back. Just pay close attention. And he caught me with it. GG, good to go. And I actually should have parried that guy. I don't know what I was thinking about, but I should have parried him. Alright, so we have some good old scythe action. I had to tighten up enemy over there. You guys can see my good old souls right there. Humanity, rather. You guys notice that? Backing off again. He's going to keep doing it. Okay, so that was a run-up method. Alright, so now... And actually, I kind of stood my ground there with the blocking, even though I was only using this doing. Nice parry right there for 9-12. That's a nice deterrent. And, I only keep doing it because I notice him doing the same tactics. Same tactics. GG right there. Alright, go ahead and do our greetings. And we're good to go. Let's go ahead and grass it up. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and try some more Kumo action. And actually, I don't know why I wasn't doing more one-handed and two-handed R1s. I don't really know what I was thinking. You guys notice that? Same pattern, but actually I just missed it right there. Just missed it. So he's trying to figure out if he's going to do the run up and pick. You guys notice that? Either he's going to take 2 or 3 steps back, run up and parry, or he takes 2 or 3 steps back, run up to me with the Man-Serpent Greatsword, and do the running two-handed R1 attack. You guys notice that? Look at his setups. Okay, now he did mix it up right there. I think after parrying him a couple times, he kind of got wind of it. And that was a nice little combo, kind of threw me off. Ugh, GG once again. Ugh, I hate losing. No, but it's all to the good. I'm just being funny. It's all to the good, especially when you're learning your lessons from losing. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put out my high-speed partisan. And actually, I don't really use the partisan a lot. I think the last time I used a partisan was against good old IGBX rated. I think that's his name. Yeah, shout out to him on his partnership to I forgot what that group was. I think it's Machinima or Machima or something like that. I don't even know really what it is. I just know there's a few guys on too. Guys, notice that? He back up like 2 or 3 steps and then he charges in. Alright, so he kind of caught me on that quick combination. Did another running two-handed R1 attack. And I'm going to catch him in a second. You guys notice that? He just backs off. Okay, is he going to run in? Okay, I thought he was going to run in, but he just backed off. Okay, no problem. And that's one benefit about having the speed. You know, you can really not only dodge the attacks, but that you can go ahead and continue to engage after you dodge, which is a good benefit. All right, And see, like I said before, he kind of caught on to that parrying method that I was doing. You notice he'll run in, and instead of doing that two-handed swing in R1, he'll just kind of run off to the side, right? Because he knows that I'm going to attempt that parry. And actually, he kind of ran into that one. That wasn't really my intention. At least that time it wasn't. Alright, and I missed that one, but it doesn't matter, right? As long as we're paying attention to the patterns and we're making the attempts. Got him that time. GG once again. Alright guys, well, this is the last match of the series against good old Bubba. Shout out to you, shout out to all the other Twitch bros. I'd like to send my thanks and appreciation to good old Bubba for this series of matches. I appreciate it, and hey, I'll catch you out on the streams. So everybody else, I hope you guys enjoyed the showcase between myself and the good old Twitch bro. Well, until next time, Martyrs Brigade.